Hello, Sabina.
Hello.
So we are at the last day of your internship, and I would like to exchange a little bit with you, for you to exchange all your experience with potential new candidates. So can you introduce yourself in terms of background, in terms of curriculum? What is your age, and where you stand right now in your curriculum?
Okay, so my name is Sabina Kubicova. I just turned 23. Originally, I'm from Slovakia, but I decided to do my studies in Denmark, where I finished an AP degree in service hospitality and tourism management. And currently, I'm doing my top-up degree in order to gain a bachelor's degree in international hospitality management. And I was just accepted to do my master's in my master's degree in business administration and leadership at Roskilde University.
That's cool.
And yeah.
I remember because when you have been receiving this letter, you were in Paris at the office, and that was a great moment of emotion and satisfaction. I do believe, huh?
Yes, it was
A lot of stress as well.
a lot.
How did you find WeYield, and also what was the interest for you to accept the revenue management offer in car rental or from
uh,
a French company?
Find, you mean where I found the job at?
Yes.
Yes, so I found it through LinkedIn. I was searching frantically for weeks and months for any revenue management position. And yeah, this one was up there, so I applied. And there was not a lot of companies that did applying through LinkedIn, so I really liked that part.
Was it something particular in the application that make a tilt or resonate in you when you saw it?
I have to say not really, because I applied for really, as I said, there was everything. So I don't really remember the application.
Okay.
Um, yes.
And did you had before some revenue management background or a bit of, let's
Um,
say, courses at school, at the university?
we studied it. We had one semester of this, and so we were working in a revenue management simulation called RevSim, where we had basically we're doing this competition within our class, where we were leading a hotel for a month, and then I did another specific course from Eurocre, from partner Russell's Partners Group, where I gained a certificate of hotel business acumen, where there was also a hotel management competition in the simulation.
And was the element you have been learning at school useful or helpful in order to address specifically the car rental optimization at WeYield?
Well, it was the first introduction to revenue management, so I knew the basics. I knew how it worked, but it was definitely a different thing, because in that simulation you are working on a monthly basis. Here we were working on a daily basis, changing everything, and you had two types of rooms that you were changing for monthly, and now it was very much different. And cars are nothing like hotel rooms, as I found out.
um, what was specifically the? Can you describe for eventually a new intern what kind of let's say big areas you have been in charge during your 6 months internship with us?
So what I was in charge is firstly customer support. So reacting to any customer support messages. If there is an issue with something, I'm usually the first one to deal with it, or check if it's a tech issue, and if I can still help the customer. Then I was in charge of of the transformation of the customer. So I was helping with meetings and leading some of the meetings where we discussed possible price changes or any other issues that we found out in the companies, and we were trying to rectify.
So does it mean that you were really involved in the yield meeting with
Yes.
the customer, like the weekly or daily whatever approaches?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, my daily tasks were basically to check for any support messages, then prepare for meetings, and then lead the meetings and assist in some.
And what was the type of successes you found, or you have been in contact with some of the customer? What was the best example or the best success you had in the various companies you have been helping over this period?
Well, the best success when I suggested something that actually the company liked, and it might have helped them to accomplish a better achievement. So yeah, to really help them, and they actually said, "Okay, this is a good idea. We like this, and we implemented it, and it helped them."
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. That did you do you believe that in fact you were mostly having a kind of revenue management role, let's say a junior role, than really an intern, not knowing anything? Do you think that you have been involved as really step by step, but more and more to a revenue management consulting role?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay. Was it interesting in order to learn more this role of revenue management consultant?
I would very much play on the word consultant, because I think it was a consultant of basically a business consultant, because it was not only revenue management, but it was also how do you deal with operations, how do you deal with this part, what's your marketing, what was your choice behind this decision. So it's not just revenue management consultant, but a business. I would say it's a business consultant, maybe with a revenue management specialty.
So it means that what you have also, if I understand correctly, what you have seen is like it's the revenue management is much wider than simply, let's say, pricing and inventory controls.
It's
You see
definitely
what you
so.
have in mind? What are the other topics you were also, you think that fits into this let's say this large revenue management?
Well, was as I just said, it was a lot of marketing or decisions behind certain products, and customer satisfaction, and how to deal with that, where to invest the money, and yeah, topics like that, and also operations. A lot of operational topics that have basically, in theory, nothing to do with it, but at the same time, they are the ones steering the wheel.
Yeah. For what is for you the less, let's say, the top three main skills that is required to handle to tackle to master this role as revenue management with this 6 months experience? What do you carry back?
Okay, three main skills. So first of all, definitely an eye for data. So if you're someone who doesn't like data, then I don't think this is for you, because of course the core is revenue management. So you need to see the differences. You need to be analytical, and to be able to analyze, and yeah, steer the customers in the correct direction. But also it's a lot of communication, and communication with customers, as it is a consultant role. There's also quite a big requirement for being able to communicate with them, and have a conversation of 2 hours, and lead the conversation, and get it where you want it to be, instead of let it yourself be dragged somewhere.
And were you also in contact uh, with the what we call at WeYield the product and innovation team, that in generic we call the developers? Was it something that you have been um, you were happy about, because you never been in this type of in contact with these guys on this type of let's say community or roles before? How did you manage this with the technical aspects?
So they were very helpful whenever I needed something. They were willing to explain or jump on a meeting with a customer with me when I wasn't sure if I would tell them the correct way, or just to make sure that there would be no misinterpretations. So that was really nice, and the guys are really, really helpful, and they want you to understand, and so to succeed.
Cool. um, Now we come to the end. What would you um, keep as a souvenir, or from this personal souvenir, I would say, from the last for this intern that I mean, we have to say also that you have been on a remote, because as you said, you are based still in Denmark, and we are based in Paris or close to Paris. Therefore, it was mostly on a remote. Was it difficult for you to manage this, or was it something okay and
I don't
fluid?
think so. As many of us students had to survive the pandemic mostly, so 2 years out of my 3 year curriculum were during the pandemic, so most of my studies were done online, so I was very much used to it. So it wasn't that big of a shock or a change. But I can imagine for some people it's harder than for others. It wasn't too big of a problem for me.
Okay, and what do you keep in mind as a souvenir
From
from
my
this experience? What you will remember? It can
Okay,
be
so
something out of the job, in practice. Why not?
no, so what I would say, what I didn't expect is, when you think of revenue management, at least me personally, I never thought of cars. And seeing how it works, and yeah, having maybe a very basic knowledge of how it works in the hotels, I see that the cars are so much more complex and complicated. And I like it way more. So whenever I see myself in a role in the future, I think I would like to work with cars because it's just way more complicated, and I think I like that challenge. So that's something I really would like to stay with, and that's the biggest souvenir of showing me the world of revenue management in car rentals.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I've been working in the hotel before, and for me, that's the one of the element, this complexity, especially on the stock, because we have a lot of variety and uncertainty of this bloody stock that is moving, that can be broken, that cannot be delivered, that can be driven back not in the expected station, etc. While a room, usually you give it back or you leave it at the same place, and the plane, as soon as you board, you will leave it at the destination normally. So definitely agree with you. This complexity in car, especially on the stock side, is and a lot of volatility is extremely challenging. So thank you for this testimony. I really like this experience with you, and that was super enjoyable. And you are an excellent um, um, customer success manager. You have handled a lot of different situations, and now it's time to continue with your master degree. And I wish you a very good luck, and I'm sure you will have a great success.
Thank you very much.
Ciao. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.